Nakagugulat pa ba o expected na itong pag-impeach ng Kamara kay VP Sara, Doc?
Well, hindi ako nagulat. Ano? It's actually just a matter of time. But what really bothered me the most here is the abruptness, tsaka yung sabihin na nating railroaded attempt, no, that was conducted in order to file and immediately submit this impeachment complaint to the Senate. Based on the Constitution kasi, no, if you're going to look at Article 11, Section 3, maliwanag yung ating reglamento ron, ano, particularly dito sa tinatawag nating 10-day rule, that all the impeachment complaints should be carefully verified, should be scrutinized, submitted to the House rules, no, and should be included yung tinatawag nating House Order of Business before it would be transmitted to the Senate. Now, in this case, if you actually file an impeachment complaint, and I'm referring to the 4th impeachment complaint filed yesterday, and immediately you just gather the signatures and lodge it directly to the Senate, then there is a constitutional violation immediately, no? Because the impeachment complaint, you need to understand, impeachment proceeding per se is a modest and at the same time a solemn act, no, that is vested on the Congress, and it should be carefully scrutinized and carefully evaluated.
Alright.
There should be really a process na dapat nasunod.
Opo. Doc Calilong, are you saying na quote-unquote minadali ni Railroad itong prosesong ito at pwede bang magamit yan as technicality?
Yes, there could be some legal challenge to that, no? Because primarily, when you look at the impeachment complaint as a power vested in the Congress, it should actually follow and it should be subject to the constitutional limitations. Now, if this was not observed, as I was saying, pwede talaga magkaroon ng legal challenge and legal question to this, which again may lead to some kind of political question as well, and may lead to some political address, no? So, yun kasi ang problema kapag hindi natin sinusunod, no, ng tama yung proseso. Magkakaroon talaga ng mga technicalities diyan.
So hindi po nasunod, Dr. Calilong, itong 10 days na pag-verify dito po sa 4th impeachment complaint?
Yes, actually, yung 10 days naman kasi ngayon, hindi naman talaga siya parang directly stipulated na dapat 10 araw, ano? Maaari kasing maaring mas mabilis doon sa 10 days. Pero ang kailangan kasi dito is yung proseso ng verification, ma-establish natin yung sufficiency in form and substance. Ngayon, kung hindi siya talaga na-submit doon sa tamang proseso, and definitely it cannot be done in a single day. Okay? Hindi ito nagagawa sa loob ng isang araw. So maliwanag na hinabol nila ito sa last session para lamang mai-transmit sa Senado para bumulong yung impeachment complaint. So it's to me, no, it's done in bad faith. And certainly this is not good for democracy.
Pero Doc Calilong, karamihan naman ng kongresista natin abogado. Alam nila yan, di ba? May mga judge pa nga dyan, kung di ako nagkakamali. So alam nila yan. So anong basa mo? Talaga bang kinapos ng oras o talaga bang sinadya or anong basa mo rito, Doc, bilang isang political analyst? Kasi alam naman natin, numbers game yan eh. Na pagdating sa Senado, walang numero eh.
Yeah, totoo naman yan. No? But then again, no matter how brilliant you are, no, and no matter how good you are, and even if you know all these legal technicalities and legal loopholes, even if you're a legal luminary, it boils down to the kind of sway, the political influence that is bestowed upon you, no, especially in the Congress. No?
Yung kumpas,
yeah, sabi nga nila, there's always strength in numbers. And if they are that many,
alright.
No,
Okay.
kaya nilang gawing puti ang itim at kaya nilang itwid ang isang batot, ano? So to me, this is a very clear manifestation of political maneuvering, and that is, very rampant in the government right now.
At dahil nga Kuyang Jopel, Dr. Calilong, na numbers game ito, malaki ang magiging papel ng resulta nitong midterm elections. Tama, Doc, dahil kailangan ng numero ng Senado eh. Kailangan ng numero sa Senado para mag-push through itong impeachment na to. Dahil kung walang mga makukuhang sapat na boto sa Senado, may tuturing na baliwala ang impeachment. Doc Calilong, tama po ba?
That is right. I think the administration is actually looking at the pre-poll surveys that we're having right now, wherein 10 out of 12 ng mga administration candidates are actually figuring in prominently. And this is the reason they believe kung bakit malakas ang loob nila na i-aklat kagad ito sa Senado on the premise na karamihan sa mga manok nila or majority of their candidates will actually win. And if it happens, then it's going to be a very easy thing for them in the Senate to prosecute and convict VP Sara Duterte, which will eventually lead to their grand design of rooting out itong si Sara Duterte from potentially running in the 2028 elections, and also ending the Duterte brand of politics in the country, di ba?
So maaari itong questionin, Doc Calilong, itong impeachment complaint na ito.
At saan? Saan ko
for-
question?
for me,
Saan
for me,
questionin?
pwede naman siya talagang questionin, ano? And when you look at the principle of co-equality of powers, no, even the Supreme Court could actually be used as a final arbiter to test whether or not this decision to impeach is really built on solid legal grounds, no? Kasi if not, dapat maging firm dito ang ating Supreme Court na i-rule ito as unconstitutional. And definitely, kung gusto naman nilang mag-file ng other impeachment complaint, they may do so. No? Pero ang kasi rito, at the end of the day, is ano ba talaga ang naging dahilan? Bakit nila ito ginawa? No? If it's really for transparency and accountability, we could do that provided that the right mechanisms are in place and the right procedures were actually followed. If not, then there is really a problem. No, that's why I'm I'm looking at the congressmen who actually did not sign the impeachment complaint. No? Kasi kung titingnan natin, ang unang pumirma si Sandro Marcos, ang huling
Alright.
pumirma yung speaker. No, so when you look at it, parang orchestrated talaga. No, and these are 215 congressmen. And may mga hindi pumirma, no, na sa tingin ko talaga namang naninindigan at may prinsipyo, no.
Okay.
Halimbawa si Congresswoman Bernadette Herrera, hindi siya pumirma, no. So ito yung mga klase ng mga mambabatas siguro na may paninindigan.
Alright. First in the Philippines, sa history natin, Vice President i-impeach. Sino ang next in line, Doc Calilong, sa ganyang pangyari? If ever, tuluyan ng mapatalsik sa pwesto, si VP Sara. Sino ang next in line?
Definitely, the president could actually pick or nominate, who will be the vice president. And po pwede kasi ang mangyayari dito, syempre, ang pipiliin niya ay yung kaalyado niya at
Opo.
hindi susuway sa kanya. And this will be a part of their design to actually run again yung kanilang mamanokin for the 2028 elections. So again, these are all orchestrated to, like I said, to rule out and to root out itong si VP Sara Duterte to perpetually ban her from running, no. So we don't and I'm not entertaining at this point any thoughts na magkakaroon tayo ng mga destabilization or mass movements, like I said, because this is going to be very disruptive doon sa ating sa flow ng ating economy and sa maayos na nakalakaran ng ating lipunan. But then again, it's a possibility, no? Lalo na kung ganito nga na may nakikita tayong use or colors of political harassment.
Oh, with those technicalities, Doc, saan hahantong itong impeachment na to?
Well, it will, definitely the Senate cannot act on it right now. We'll have to wait, for the new composition of the Senate to actually take form by June 30, no? By then, if they will be having that as the first order of business, then makikita natin na talagang solid and very decisive yung liderato ng ating pamahalaan na tanggalin or i-impeach talaga si President si VP Duterte despite and in spite of the so many problems that this country is facing.
Alright, Doc, binabanggit naman, syempre, nung ilang mga solid at maging to si Attorney Salpanelo, na on the other hand, may positibong epekto po itong pang quote-unquote panggigipit kay VP Sara dahil lalo lamang kumukuha ng kumbaga suporta sa mamamayan ang pangalawang Pangulo dahil sa nangyayaring ito. Can you comment on that, Doc Calilong?
Well, culturally, if you try to look at the
Underdog,
political culture of Filipinos, medyo
Opo.
mahilig talaga tayo to root for the underdogs, no? And this is something na siguro hindi naiintindihan yung dynamics at complexity nito ng liderato ng ating pamahalaan. Siguro maaaring magiging rallying factor nga ito actually for us to be not just to support VP Duterte but to actually see that this administration is actually parang that was what I was saying, no? Pwede talaga siyang maging pwede talagang maging triggering factor ito,
Opo.
no? For mass unrest and some kind of civic actions to actually take place. We don't know yet. It will depend on how the public will parang more or less accept the current situation. Pero the way I see it, as I'm monitoring, social media and mainstream news as well, mukhang negative talaga yung interpretation.
Alright.
Sir, anong implication nito? Kasi parang may sinasabi din na hindi tinupad o hindi sinunod ng mga mambabatas yung utos ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. na
Wag isulong.
wag nang isulong, wag nilang ituloy yan kasi nga magkakawatak-watak, magkakaroon naman ng division
Correct.
yung bansa.
Well, sa aking pananaw naman po from the get-go, I think this was just this was just a ploy, that was orchestrated by Malacanang to actually give us the impression that the president is
Alright.
actually playing the role of a Pontius Pilate here.
Okay.
That is washing his hands of the
Gets ko
guilt.
rin. Opo.
Pero the way I see it,
Opo.
no impeachment complaint will push through
Aha.
nang hindi
Yun.
or walang basbas ng Malacanang.
Apo, parang ano lang yan eh. Sorry pero maisingit ko lang eh. Parang yun nangyari sa pangkisa ng isang malaking network yan. Na pinipilit nilang mga mambabatas ang may gusto, pero ang totoo, may kumpas.
Yeah.
Di ba? Aggressive,
Exactly.
aggressive, Doc. Anyway, Doc.
Exactly.
Apo, nasa inyo pong pagkakataon, baka may karagdagan po kayo mensahe. Go ahead.
Well, definitely this is one of the episodes in our history na medyo masusubukan na naman yung ating resolve bilang isang demokratikong pamayanan. And I hope that our countrymen will always stay vigilant and that we will always be informed about the right path and the right decision to take. And hopefully we could use this elections as a barometer, as a way by which we could vote the right people. Again, this is always a cliche, pero every elections is always a time for change. And I think we have the power to mobilize that and to utilize that to our advantage. And let's not waste that opportunity.
Apo.
Yun lamang po.
Apo.
Maraming pong salamat.
Dr. Kalilong, mukhang madadalas ang pang-aabala namin sa iyo habang lumalapit ang midterm elections, ha? Okay lang, ha?
Okay lang po. Wala pong problema.
Maraming salamat. Good morning, Dr. Kalilong. Ingat po. God bless. Apo.
Salamat po. Mabuhay po kayo.
Apo. Yan po mga kabalitan, kabalitaktakan, ang political analyst na si Dr. Froilan Kalilong.